Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And welcome back, everybody. The next few minutes in this podcast are going to move you. Well, we hope it does. That's what we're talking about today. Your longevity, the movement in your life, and something called strength training. And a lot of us, when you get up there in age, you wonder about exercise. At this point, is it really going to make a difference? What should I be doing? How often should I be doing it? She is somebody that is so in tune. And it's a pun, but it's not. The name of her practice is called In Tune Yoga and Wellness. This is what she has been doing for decades, helping us understand how this all works. And she is our professional of the year. Linda Black is on the program. How are you doing today?
I am doing great today, Steve. I had my good dose of weightlifting today, and it really sparked some joy in my countenance. But yes, I'm ready to dive in. I just can't wait.
I was at the gym a few hours ago myself, so I have lots of questions when we get to them. This thing called strength training seems a little rhetorical in terms of asking you what that means, but I'm going to say, what does that mean? How do you frame those two words?
Oh, that's a really great question. I like to say resistance training. So anything that pulls or pushes a muscle to develop its strength, and it's kind of like your mindset. You have to be pushed and pulled in different directions to stretch your mindset and to get out of your comfort zone. There's always growth outside the comfort zone. So if you're comfortable sitting on a couch, or you're comfortable in whatever it is that you're doing, it's like, oh man, I don't want to get up and do this. Like, there's no growth there. And there's no growth for your muscle. And in fact, it will atrophy if it doesn't get used. We're built for this. Like, this is what our bodies are meant to do. Like, run, jump, move, agility, and have strength. So we really need to push and pull ourselves into a growth mindset. And I don't mean, growing big biceps, but you want to have some, support for getting up and getting out of your chair, so that when you're older, you're not having to use an assistant via cane or a walker, there's times we would use that, and I'm not dissing it, but a lot of that's avoidable. A lot of what we see aging as being can be avoidable and reversible at any age. So I'm really talking to you 40, 50, 60-year-olds who haven't created a routine and habit stacking behind getting yourself strong, capable, supported. This is I'm calling you. I'm calling you out. I'm just going to put it out there. Yes.
It's a dichotomy when you think about it, because yes, 100, 200, 3 years ago, people didn't sit. They weren't sitting and even if they had a job that involved at a desk, there was lots of movement. And if you weren't doing that, you were certainly plowing a field or walking to work or whatever it might be. It's almost laughable that we have all of this technology. We have all of these medical technology, medicine, all of that to extend our life. And we sit in a chair. And they say that sitting is the new smoking in terms of what it's doing to your body. It's almost mind-blowing when you start. And I never thought of it until you started talking about it, Linda, like putting this all together. I hear conflicting opinions about strength training, especially, not when you're, talk about 40, 50, 60s, that some say, you don't need a lot of weight, just, a lot of reps, maintain, build. Then others say, no, pile it on and power forward. How does that look for you?
So without like getting into like people who actually do that for a living, who, bodybuild, that's a whole different genre.
We'll factor that
So I'm
out.
not going to address that
Sure, sure.
portion of it, but I do want to get into if you're not able to do a push-up, do a sit-up, do a, 10 in a row, you need strength training. You have not developed the strength you need to make it through this life. I think I said this on one of the other podcasts. You mentioned sitting as the new smoking, but also we've convenienced ourselves to death. I want you to think about
Yes.
that. We've convenienced
Amazon,
ourselves.
one button click, and we've gotten so used to that. Oh, it's here. Oh, 3 hours later, it's showing up at the door, depending on where you live. You don't even have to get in the. You don't even have to walk from the
I don't
house
have
to
to
the
get in and out
car.
of my car. I get up and go to the porch now,
Right.
literally for my food. And so I like to say, inconvenience yourself enough for growth. Inconvenience yourself. Make life hard in ways that create and spark joy. I'm not talking about habits that actually do make your life hard, like uh, stinky thinking or smoking or things like that, or going out and wrecking your knees by running a marathon without training. What I am talking about is, simply daily habits, and it doesn't have to be a long time. So I spent an hour today at the gym. You don't have to have a gym. You don't even have to have, you just need a space in your neck of the woods, in your corner. And I would create something in your home that facilitates this. And here's why. We have a kitchen because we know we need to eat. We have a bed because we know we need to rest. But do we have somewhere in our home for activities? If we're not doing it outside our home, we're not plowing the field, we're not out there doing cartwheels. If we're not doing that, why don't we have that in our home? Why don't we have a dedicated space for our health and well-being where we, have enough space to have a few key elements, a mat and some dumbbells that are pretty inexpensive to get, and your own weight resistance to start moving, to start really upping your game. If you love a gym and you love to do, you like the camaraderie, you like to go with people, I mean, do that for sure. But I'm kind of a homebody. I actually enjoy working out by myself. I happened to go with people this morning, and it was so much fun. And I was doing half the weight that was required in a CrossFit because I'm coming off of an injury. So, people, I love the excuses that I get. I can't do this because I can't do yoga. I can't touch my toes. I'm nursing an injury. My neck is sore. I'm like, bullshit. I'm just going to call it, because there is something that you can do, even if it's like moving your pinky toe or, your baby toe. There is something you can do with the weights. Your whole body's not in a cast
You
unless it.
you made something very clear, and this is why you're amazing at what you do, because you bring these things to light, and it's almost as if you're not guilting us, you're not shaming us. It's you're putting the mirror up. So you mentioned the kitchen, the bedroom, the living room. All of those rooms are associated with something that's pleasurable. The kitchen, you're eating. Living room, watch TV. Bedroom, find your own pleasure there. Sleep is great too. We don't find pleasure, most of us, in working out. And we need to flip that around. And like you went with some people today and it was fun, you need to find the fun, or get to rewire your mind where you look forward to it and it's a good time. Or just knowing that the release of chemicals is going to make you feel good in 45 minutes from right now after you leave the gym, right?
I want to share a story. A client of mine who has a, a genetic disorder that actually has affected her lungs and her breathing. So it's very, very difficult for her to exercise. And in fact, it has been that way most of her life. She just didn't realize
Wow.
why. And so, of all the people that have all the excuses, she hated exercise, hated at the gym, hated, if this is you, I'm speaking to you, like, hated gym class, hated the running, all of that stuff, right? And she's like, I know that I need this. So she got a trainer, me, and she's like, I'm doing this. We started with yoga. She barely could do like a chaturanga. Like, a cat cow was really struggling with the arm strength. Now she's a master pro at it. It's incredible the change I've seen. So, and she's made it fun. And the reason she's made it fun is because she can go somewhere, have somebody helping her, getting a trainer. So if that's a partner, a friend, a trainer, whatever it is that makes it fun for you,
Yep.
or even the activity, I'm just gonna say the weight training 2 or 3 times a week is really going to help you in your longevity. There's a lot of research done on this and just promoting the health and well-being of your body, the benefits. Muscle mass and strength, obviously we lose that as we get older. So we want to keep muscle mass and we want to keep our strength. Fat loss is accelerated. If you want to lose weight, like let's lose the fat. Brain performance and mood enhancement. This can positively affect your aging and brain health. Anti-inflammatory. It increases inflammatory acutely. So in the moment, right? It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sore. I can hardly walk. But in the long term, the body of an active person who has a dynamic set of muscle. It has superior inflammation fighting mechanisms. So it's really important because inflammation is kind of one of those things that cause a lot of other bad things to happen in your health. Posture and confidence, faster metabolism, boost your libido, bone density. I mean, bone density is one really great reason to do resistance training. Increasing your balance and control. I mean, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Everybody's going to have something happen to them. Think about it in the last 10 years. Steve, have you tripped and fallen, gotten in a car wreck, had an accident, something that was detrimental to your health or that set you back? I mean, think about that in the last 5 or 10 years. Has there been something? I mean, I can just think like one time I tripped on the pavement. I smacked my head. I smacked my face. It was a whole sprawled out thing, smacked my face. Oh, wait, no. In Costa Rica, fell with my bike. I was doing a ride, it was downhill. It was supposed to be a jump. I didn't know there was a jump there, so I didn't bridge the gap. I fell in the gap and smacked hard on the bridge that was on the other side. Fell on my bike. I mean, I was laying there thinking, I'm broken. And I'm telling you, I got up and I was surprised that nothing was broken. I thought, give me a break, give me a minute, let me see if my ribs are still intact. I mean, I gave myself a half an hour to recover and ice stuff, but honestly, I attribute that to the strength training that I've been doing my whole life, the yoga agility, the fact that I knew I was falling and I went, fall with grace and ease. And that's what I thought in my brain. Don't get stiff and rigid, that's going to break something, fall into it. And it saved my life, like literally.
Totally. And you're not brittle because this is what you do. And
Right.
the other part of this, I wonder about strength training. Somebody goes to the gym. Let's say they're putting some time in, a couple of months, 3, 5, whatever, go by. How do you know how much weight? Yeah. How do you know intuitively, maybe instinctively, where you should be? Should it be at the point where obviously you're not going to overdo it because it's duh. Okay. But how do you find that sweet spot where you're powering through with more weight, but you're not gypping yourself, if you will, and just kind of going through the motions?
Yeah. So here's an easy way to kind of monitor that. If you measure what you're starting at, what your starting weight is, and then over time you keep those measurements, you're going to see an increase in strength. There's no doubt that will happen.
Sure.
If you're consistent, you're going to see an increase. But like when you're starting out, you want to start with light weight or no weight. And the resistance could be bands, it could be your own weight, all of that. And then, the next day, if you can't walk, you went too far. But here's the rule of thumb. If you can do 8 reps easily and up to 15 reps pretty easily, it's not enough weight. So you want to start. I always do this, like my first round of weight, I'll start a little lighter and go, wow, like I can do 15. My second time through, I'll up the weight and do fewer reps.
Okay.
So instead of 15, I'm doing more like 10. And then if you're really building muscle, you're going down to 3 or 6, but that's a whole different ball game. But to increase strength and not be too sore and overdo it, just in your mind, if you're getting to 6 and it's your first like set, you're going too hard. You're out the gate, you're going too hard. It's like, I'm too exhaustion and fatigue. That might be a little bit heavy of a weight. So I would tone it down because we want to prevent injury. And please don't compare to everybody else. I'm at a CrossFit gym and they have like this set weight. I don't even look at that. I don't even care. Like I'm doing my thing. I'm doing what's right for my body weight, size, strength, what I need to support in my body. Same goes with yoga. There's resistance training in yoga, and that could be a good place to start because there is no weight, but there's weight resistance. So, a down dog, it's weight resistance. You got to hold yourself up.
Lots of questions. Let's go here.
Okay.
Cardio. We didn't talk about that yet. When you're going to the gym and you want to include cardio, I know for me, ever since I was in my 20s, cardio is where I lose weight. But I gotta like really dive into it. It's always worked for me. I'm not saying ignore strength training, but I'm just saying cardio, it's important. Should you do cardio before strength training or the other way around?
It depends on the time. So if you want to sprinkle cardio every other day, that's a great way to, do some walking or 20 minutes of, if you've got time at the gym and you want to do 30 minutes of weight and, a 20-minute regimen where you're actually doing cardio. I don't on a weight day because I'm moving so fast through the weights that I am cardiovascularly exhausted.
Okay. Wow.
Like I get that while I'm doing my weight training.
So in other words, you're not looking at your phone while you're working out.
No. And I'm not resting. Like I don't do a set and then rest and then do a set and do a rest. And I have created a little, simple routine for everybody. So I won't share screen because we're a little out of time, but if people want to message me, email me, message me at Intune Yoga Wellness on Instagram, or just email me, Linda Black Yoga, I'm happy at Gmail. I would be happy to send that out to you for no cost and just give you, it's a very simple routine. And so we go it's like a circuit, and the first circuit is 3 to 4 exercises. You do boom, 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 and then you repeat it if you can. And then you do the second circuit and you repeat it. Then you do the third circuit and you repeat it. And then if you want to increase or decrease, you just do one of each of those, or you do 2, or you do 3, right? But you're not resting. Like you might take 1 minute in between each of those circuits and rest. So your cardiovascular is going for 6 minutes straight. And then the next 6 minutes straight, 6 to 10 minutes. Yeah.
I never thought of
So
it
you're
that
getting a
way,
cardio.
Linda, because, I'll go to the gym. I'm like, yeah, make sure you include some cardio, almost every day. Make sure you do cardio. You don't need to if you're really applying yourself to the strength training. And again, I'm guilty as charged. I love music and songs pop in my head. So I could be in the middle of something. Yes, create a playlist, but I got to stop doing that because I'll be in the middle of something. Let me finish this, these reps. I'm like, I'm going to find, where's that song? It's counterproductive because that's my cardio. I'm wasting my time finding songs on the phone. That's going to motivate me, but I just got to start making playlists and just let them go, let them fly. Yeah. So insightful here. Learning a lot. We didn't even get to stretching, which as you get older, that's what I really learned in that. So important.
Yeah, there's something really specific about when you do weight train, you need a warm up and you also need a cool down for sure. I'm talking about like one specific thing in our live pillar, and that is our move pillar, and that is weight training, just to get the resistance in there. However you want to do that, listeners, is really up to you. But you're not going to go hard on the movement if you're not warmed up. It would be you're asking yourself for injury. And then on the flip side of that, you need to cool down so you don't get really tight. And that it decreases soreness. So on both ends of the circuit training that I've created, I have a warm up and I have a cool down. So it's very simple. Warm up, 3 circuits, cool down, and you can dive into this sheet. Could like last you months and you wouldn't get tired of it because you can just mix and match it, change it up, do it twice one day, 3 times another day, or just once through, whatever. I like variety. I like music. I just kick on some music and that upbeats me, and that I look forward to it. It's like fun. This is my boost. This is my gets the rhythm going.
That's the key point. You need to make it fun. And final thought here, and I'm just sharing, it's not about me, but I'm just sharing this because this is how I reframed it. If I don't go to the gym or do something self-care related, and this is only in the last year and a half, 2 years, because I always avoided taking care of myself. I feel like I'm cheating myself. I feel like, what did you just do? Get to the gym. You're doing everything for everybody else. You're cheating yourself. And it's a weird mindset, but that's where I'm at. Like, I feel like but it gets me to the gym and it gets me out and gets me active. So maybe just rewire your brain.
I love that mindset, Steve. I really feel like we've given, sometimes movement gets a bad rap, and if you just make it fun, and a lot of you listeners already know how fun it is and how much it boosts your metabolism, how much it boosts your outlook on life and gets you out of depression. There's so many chemicals that are released while you're doing this.
Yeah.
You're going in with this, I gotta do this, counterproductive. Let's wipe that slate clean and just say, it's something I get to do. It's something not that I should do, it's something I get to do.
Yeah. That's a great way to look at it. And it's almost laughable. We all know it's good for us. It's not like, I wonder if I should, you should be doing it. So do it. How do we find you, Linda, our professional of the year? So much insight. You're happy to help people in many different ways. You can do that virtually as well. What's your website?
Yes, the website is intuneyogawellness.com. The Instagram is the same, Intune Yoga Wellness. My email is lindablackyoga@gmail.com. And
Gotcha.
I love all things health related. It's my absolute passion. I love talking about it. And thank you for having me on here today, Steve. It's such a pleasure to talk to you.
Likewise, you're like a breath of fresh air, and you're the inspiration to get us out there and start moving and live a great life, and a long one. This is where it's at. Appreciate you, and looking forward next time we get together.
Thank you.
Thanks. We'll be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.